Oh, hi guys, didn't notice you there. Welcome to my workshop. This is part 7 of my live edge river coffee table. It's time to attach the legs to the table. We're going to do one leg at a time. I'm not going to use PVA wood glue. I'm going to use epoxy resins. I'm using West Systems 105 resin and the 205 fast hardener. And I'll be using some microfibers, the 403 microfibers, to create a putty-like consistency, which will be the glue that we use to do this. The reason I'm using epoxy is because I've used dominoes to attach a leg to the table. In the base of the table, the domino slot I cut was the wider one, and that would allow for inaccuracies in placement of the dominoes. In hindsight, shouldn't have done that, but I'm new to the domino. I've only used it to make some bathroom cabinets before. I should have just used the normal size holes and not allowed for any error because I didn't make any mistakes. So that means there's a bit of void in there. Now wood glue won't fill that void, but the epoxy will fill that glue when I mix it with these fibers. So let's get on and mix some epoxy resin. So we'll start with 2 pumps of the 105 and then 2 pumps of the hardener. We'll mix that together, making sure we're getting all the corners, scraping it off the sides and giving it a good old thorough mix. So for every pump of resin and hardener we need 1 scoop of this. So we've had 2, so we'll put 2 of these in. And let's mix this up. I'm going to need a lot more than that actually. Oh, I can't do that. Oh, what am I doing? I said it's an additional 3 pumps. So 1. Do you want to come in? Hold on. Okay, we'll just mix that up and then we'll add it to the mixture. So I've mixed up 3. Oh, you all right? I'm just recording. I can't stop, I've got to do this. It's gluing and it's going off. Sorry, Mum.
Is that in Chinese now?
I don't know. No. This is glue. Sorry, it'll go off in 10 minutes. We'll add this to the pot. So we need another 5 of these. Hopefully I've got enough room in the pot. 1, 2, 3. Is that what I did? I think so. Okay, let's mix that up. We should have enough glue now, I hope. Okay, so that's all mixed up. The best thing to do is to spread this around the pot to thin it out, because the thicker it is, the faster it cures. I can feel it warm in my hand already. I'm just mixing up some normal epoxy because I'm not sure if that's going to be too thick for some of it. Okay, so it's time to attach the leg. First thing we'll do is we'll put the dominoes in the top of the leg. Yep, so we're going to use the normal epoxy for that. And now we'll use this peanut consistency one in the domino slots on the table. I did mix up too much, but I'd rather have too much than not enough. So let's attach the first leg. Say hello to my little friend. Okay. Okay, that's the first leg attached. Really happy with that. Just want to show you one quick thing. This peanut butter consistency has already gone rock hard in this pot. Ha! And it's burning hot. I just burnt myself on it. This is so hot, it's exotherming now because it's in such a big clump. Now, It's even melting the side of the pot there, if you can see that. And that's burning hot, so I'm going to take that outside because exofoam can be dangerous and it can catch fire. But, wow, that is burning hot. So this is not going to be long till it's cured. So I'm really happy with that. The first leg's now attached. It's nice and true. It's the right distance from here. Perfect. Hi guys, sorry about that. I forgot to turn the audio on while I was attaching the leg, which is rather annoying. So now I've done the legs, the next thing to do is let them cure before I mess around too much with the table. The legs are on, the legs are on, the legs are on. Oh, I can't do that. Okay, the last thing we did was we glued the legs onto the table, and I'm pleased to say they're not falling over. Well, nah, they're not, only joking. So the next job is to apply one coat of epoxy resin to the rear of the table. Reason for doing that is obviously whatever you do to one side of the wood you must always do to the other. So if you oil one side, oil the other to make sure that, I don't know, I guess something to do with tension and moisture and I don't know what. Anyway, but we're going to be totally encapsulating this table in epoxy resin. So let's mix some resin up and I'll see you back here when I've mixed that up. I'm not going to show you the mixing of the resin because I bet you're bored of it by now. Okay guys, just forgot one thing. So I'm going to put the epoxy on here and it's going to run over the edges. So what I thought about doing is creating a reservoir, fancy word there, not really. So I thought about creating a reservoir. I like that movie, Reservoir Dogs. I'm going to call myself Mr. Brown. No, Mr. Yeah, no, I'm going to call myself Mr. Brown because I'm full of it. Right, so I'm going to put that on there, okay, and then the resin will come up to that and stop there, and then of course I can just round the edge over to sand it because it will be all funny there. I do hope this works, because of course I've got to follow that edge somehow. Yeah, that'll work. Right. I've applied this tape all around the edge. Lent it back slightly, the resin can fill up that, we'll sand it later like I say. So, going to mix some resin and let's get pouring. I'll see you back at the table when I've mixed the resin. Let's get pouring. And then that just pops the bubbles. So let's leave this now and come back tomorrow and then we can carry on with the project. Well guys, that's looking really good. We've left that to cure overnight. That's really nice and hard. The epoxy that I'm pouring on here is also helping secure the legs down even more. Okay, so the next job is to put the second coat on. What I need to do is key the surface with some sandpaper and then I can apply the second coat, the final coat of resin to the underside of the table. Okay, so let's start sanding. 120 grit sandpaper. We'll let that cure overnight and then we can carry on with the project. Dun, dun, dun. Aha! The resin cured on the underside, so last night I got my wife and my son to give me a hand to take it off of the table that I was working on, and we've put it on the floor and I've moved all the rubbish out of the way so now I can work on the top. Now we'll do the 3000 grit. We've done the sanding, so we're going to go over with a lamb's wool mop with Polar Shine 10 compound on it. Now we'll move on to the waffle pad and Polar Shine 5. Okay guys, so I finished the polishing of the top now and I'm really happy with that. I've got it back to a perfect shine and got any of the dust and hairs out that are in it. I've come to a decision though. Whilst you weren't watching and I wasn't recording, I've experimented with some LEDs. What I've done is use some metal channel, the aluminium channel you can find on eBay. Well, I actually got it off Amazon next day delivery. I've put the LEDs in there, and what I've done is in the curves on the underneath of the legs, I've laid it in there. So let me turn them on. I personally don't like the fact you can see the LEDs, and because the river's not straight and this aluminium can't follow the shape of the river, it doesn't run straight down the middle. Now the other thing is I've tried to turn it sideways, and whilst I kind of like that look, it's dark on the side. Look, I can't get it right up there. So I think I'm going to forgo the LED lights, unfortunately. I know my title said that all along. If you've been watching all 7 series or 8, whatever it is now, I apologise. There's going to be no LED lights in the table. We're just going to put some felt on the legs now. Well then guys, that's the end of this episode. You've kind of had a glimpse of the table in a couple of shots in this video. So what I'm going to do is move it into the lounge where it's going to live, and then I can take some video of it in there and I can give you some facts and figures, etc. And that'll just be a brief video that I'll upload tomorrow night as well. Thanks for watching and I'll see you soon.